Okay. That should be... Oh wait, refresh that. Okay. So, right. Sound balance should be good, so it should all be good. So it should be up and going. Up and going, up and going. Yep. Ooh. No. Bad hat. Bad hat. Stay. I know you don't like staying on top of headphones, but stay. And now you're just like... I don't even... this bar humbug hat. Bar humbug, I say. Bar humbug. Jeez. Right, there we go. That'll do. But yes. Hello there, everyone. This is Humbug and welcome back to the big stompy robot simulator. Yeah. Mechwarrior Online. Welcome back to Mechwarrior Online. There's no Mechwarrior videos this weekend, so I decided to make it a stream instead. It wasn't planned, but this last week seems to have been a bit of a break from videos for me. Mechwarrior Online. Yes, this is Mechwarrior Online. Thank you, YouTube, for realizing. There we go. Right. So here we go. Giant stompy robots. Partially inspired, actually, by Tiny, who is Tim Ladd in the chat, who wanted to have a show me of Mechwarrior Online. So I thought, you know, might as well stream it. Ramming game, Mechwarrior Online. No, it's not. Well, ramming does have its uses, but it's not really for damage in this one. So yeah. Anyway, I don't have any mechs built up specifically for the stream. So since it's a stream, it'll be a case of we'll be playing in the mech lab as well and putting our mechs together for this. So let's have a quick look. See. First off, let's strip out the cockpit items. Save that. There we go. Just quickly checking some stuff. Yep, everyone's offline. Yep, that figures. So yeah, you don't normally see this in the... well, I show you the mech configuration in the actual videos I normally do. But you don't really see me do much by way of editing or putting two mechs together. So yeah, jump jetting onto enemies. You mean death from above? That was actually nerfed in this game. It used to be a really good tactic in other Mechwarrior games, but it's not actually an option in this one. But it's called death from above. So called because the armor on a mech's legs is much stronger than the armor on a mech's head, so people would just jump jet onto the top of enemy mechs to do that. But I don't think that's really been in Mechwarrior Online. Anyway, I guess we should start with a light mech, because Epic has been Epic has been of the opinion that I don't play light mechs enough, so I don't really know how to use them. And I've got a bit of mustache going up my nose. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Right. Yeah, no worries. And that, I mean, first off, I suck at using jump jets. Second off, as I said, it's not actually in the game, really. So, maybe we should take the Locust out for a spin, or we could take a Panther out. Let's grab the Locust. Oh wait, first I need to save configuration. Yes. Locust. If we're going to run around on a light mech, we might as well be in the lightest mech. Okay, so what have we got? We've got an ECM, we've got quad ER meds, we've got double machine gun, and a bunch of heat sinks. Even in the tabletops, yeah, it's an official tabletop thing. No, not making a jittery jumping mech, a jittery crazy fast mech is the idea here. I think 190 is the heaviest engine I can take. Yes, it is. ADHD engaged. So I've got the ER meds. which I could put in small pulse instead. Damage 3.5, cooldown 1.9. Damage 5, cooldown 4. So yeah, the small pulses are like faster damage. The ER meds gives us some actual medium range on this thing, so it can poke from a greater distance. We've also got the stealth armor, we've got the double machine gun. I still don't like that, but I really don't see much else I can do with the weight for this thing. That's one of the problems of it. Let's take the small pulses out. Small pulse laser. So small pulse lasers. Small pulse lasers. Don't know why that's locked in place actually, that's kind of weird. Get yourself some Battletech videos? Why is that? Hang on. Something's messed up here because it's locking the slots it shouldn't be. Yeah, there we go. Right, so I've converted this thing into a knife fighting range mech. It's point blank only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Save those. Yep. Okay. This tiny little mech is now ready to roll. So let us begin. Quick play. Find matches. But yeah. I am quite looking forward to the new Battletech that's coming out. It's that new turn-based game that is in development. I'm really looking forward to that because it takes it back to how it used to be, and it looks really cool. It's like a cross between Mech Commander and the actual Battletech board game. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Honestly, Christmas Eve, so I'm not sure how many people will be on, but yeah. I found a match, so Frozen City Roulette Oasis, because that's the new one, and Skirmish Mode. That's what I'm voting for. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun as well. It's a turn-based tactical game, and so it's going to be right at my alley, I think. Plus, it's got giant robots in it, you know. That's the selling point, really. Giant robots. All you need is giant robots. How do I engage stealth armor? I've forgotten. Mechwarrior Online. Key. What's the key? I think it's M or F or something. Yeah, Death from Above. Yes, Death from Above, I think, is actually going to be in the new Battletech one, if I recall, because they've got jump jets and all that. Key is M. Right. Okay, good. I wanted to look that up to make sure I could actually trigger my stealth armor on this mech, since, you know, it's my Locust. My Locust has got stealth armor on it, just to be annoying. Oh no, we've also Centurion, apparently, according to that. This is getting slightly in the way. Freaking hat. There we go. A merry, merry, merry bar humbug to everyone. Oh yes, 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 yes.
Ready to roll out.
Whatever you say, Marine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You play StarCraft too?
Delighted to, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, I play it, so I knew the voice immediately. Someone's got a soundboard for a Terran Marine from StarCraft 2. Oh. You're really your first time with Mechwarrior Online, Maz? What's going on is we're just waiting to go in. We've got our map set, Grim Plexus, and it's skirmish, so basically just shoot everything.
Identify target.
And someone's got a soundboard from StarCraft 2, so yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna get old.
All systems nominated.
Okay, here we go.
This is command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
But since I was told by Epic,
Sound, but only if you can transmit them to the enemy.
yeah, since I was told by Epic that I'm not really good with light mechs, which I agree. Light mechs are not the thing I like to use. I decided to grab a light mech, so I've taken my Pirate's Bane. It's 30 tons scout mech, and I fitted it with point blank weaponry. Well, it's tiny. It's a really small mech, but it's like 30 tons, so you know it's still really heavy, essentially. So I'm just running out here in pursuit of my ally. I think that's another Locust, isn't it? Actually. Yeah, that's another Locust. Okay. Stealth sniping, pretty viable, actually. Because you've got limits on detection range and stuff as well. Yeah, this is the fastest mech in the game. Also, hello Skypian, welcome to the stream. But yeah, this Pirate's Bane has got the biggest engine I can cram into this mech, so... Someone's been shot in H8. Thing is, I'm a point-blank backstab
Coming
mech.
in through Gulf 6, we see got movement.
Okay, let's
go
trigger
ahead
my
and on the
stealth
H-line.
armor. Stealth armor is on. That's going to lose most of my heat dissipation, but now the enemy literally can't lock onto me if they see me. All they can do is point at me and try and kill me.
That's it, don't go in, just
Target
group up.
acquired.
No, you don't.
Watch your right flank. One of the
Bravo.
Back here. Oh, someone knocked through my side armor.
Center torso
I got you
critically
back.
damaged.
Oh wait! Oh god, that's a Kodiak. Run! Ah!
Why is everyone chasing two assassins? What's
Leave
the
me alone! Leave me alone! Whoa!
Because we are also small and fast, and we
Whee!
can keep them pushed out.
Run away! Yeah, that's the wrong side. I would that.
Now,
By the way, that was a 100-ton
Jada.
assault mech that was just attacking me there. Just so you know.
New target acquired.
Ow. And I'm dead. Aww. Yeah, that's why I don't like mechs. They're actually really squishy. Yeah, you didn't even mention ramming. But yeah, when that Kodiak decided to get involved, it really hurt me. So, yeah.
Annihilate him, come up behind you.
I've got an Annihilator with AC2s. Okay. But yeah, that was basically the wrong side of backstabbing, so quit the match. Okay. No way we're going to win that one. You've got to tell I'm out of practice slightly with that Locust as well. Maybe I should actually go back to using the light PPC version. But yeah, Locust is just like crazy small, crazy fast, but also crazy weak. It's literally the lightest armoured mech in the game. As well as the smallest and fastest. And with a big engine in it, you can't really do much. Yeah, someone looks in my direction and I die, effectively. What does it even have? Yeah, it's got 12 points of armor on the side torsos, 14 in the middle, and that's with me tilting it forward, so the back's only got 4 points of armor on it. A standard laser will knock straight through my rear armor plating without any issues. So, yeah, that's why it got wrecked so fast. My armor is absolutely rubbish. Anyway. I guess we'll take this one next. My reward version... So, yeah, my loyalty version Urban Mech. Which has got an MRM 30 and Trevel small laser. Do I want to do anything to this? Problem is, M130 is actually a pretty beefy weapon system. So, no. Let's take our trash can out. But first I'm going to actually equip the Seaville's boosters in it. May as well not exist. Basically, yeah, it can absorb like one hit from light to moderate weapons in my rear armor placing in that mech. And anything heavy though is just going to go straight through it because it's just like a couple of points of armor. It might as well not be there overall. There we go. So yeah, we're going to take this rocket spamming urban mech out. So let's take this one out. Play with the current mech, yes. But yeah, the practice is called armor tilting. You take points out of the back of your armor and put it into the front. So your back becomes weaker, but you've got more armor at the front to withstand it. Looks like a bug. Actually, Tiny, this is the urban mech, also known as the trash can. So, yeah. The urban, the urby, the trash can. Those are the main names for this mech. It's a 30-ton mech. Sorry, 35-ton, I think. No. Yeah, 30-ton. I think. Yeah, the Locust is 25-ton. Yeah, this is a 30-ton mech, so it's still incredibly light. But traditionally, this thing is mounted with the biggest autocannon you can get in the game. So it's really slow. It's got okay armor. It's got a massive sod-off cannon on it. And it's also got another unique feature, which is it can actually torso twist 360 degrees. There's no limit on how far it can turn its torso. So it can run one way and shoot backwards if it wants to. Of course, it can't see where it's going if it does that, but the urban mech can do that. So yeah. No other mech in the game can do that. Is there an ammo limit, or can one find ammo on the map? There is an ammo limit. What your mech brings in, fitted to it, is all the ammo you're going to get. So yeah, you've got to be aware of that when you're building your mech's loadouts. If you're bringing in missiles or projectile weapons, you can only have so many shots remaining. Energy weapons, though, they're infinite. They run off your mech's built-in fusion power plant. So you can use them as much as you like, but they generate more heat, and comparatively they're a little bit weaker. So, yeah, lasers are good as a backup. Have a couple of a traditional backup equipment is like a couple of lasers of some sort to back up the rest of the weapons. So if the rest of the weapons run out, you've still got something to fight back with. But it depends on what you're carrying as well. Question for you, MWO experts. Is the Vindicator a bad mech or just an old one?
Bad.
Oh, nope, hat! Hat! Basically, it's a bit of both.
Online. Sensors online. Weapons
Vindicator.
online.
It is a bit of a bad mech, but it's also, in lore, an old mech as well.
This is
So,
command. Eliminate all enemies, no matter the cost.
okay, here we go. Well, yeah, in game terms, though, it's not really that old. But anyway, this mech has got... its main weapon is the MRM launcher in its side. But it's also got treble laser as another weapon system. So yeah, it's got that as well. Wasn't there a pack? Yeah, particle accelerator cannons. Sorry, no, not particle accelerator. Particle projector cannons, or PPCs. That's one of the engine weapons. It's basically high heat for a single instant blast of damage. That's what that one does. Yeah, there's 360 torso spin on this thing. But really, this is more of a combat-oriented mech. The Locust is more of a scout mech because it's so light.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
But this one is built more like a supporting combat mech. So that's why I'm trying to regroup with our heavier equipment over this way. I'll do something with particle cannons next, actually, Raz, since you just asked about it. So the next mech I take out will be something fitted with particle cannons of some sort. Maybe I'll take my Pack Annihilator. No, sorry, my PPC Annihilator. There's nothing wrong with massive, massive numbers of PPC shots, after all. Even if you have to support an entire 100-ton mech chassis to doing it. Are PPC sniping or short range? Mostly mid to long range sniping type.
New target acquired.
Okay, I want to get into cover. I don't have weapons at that range. No. Oh, hello!
Jake, you do like support playing that.
I think I've missed rather badly there. I feel sorry for this bushwhacker though, he's being stupid.
Heat level critical.
Need assistance.
Oh, overloaded, shut down, oh, overriding.
Engage.
Come on, this way. Nope, stops you from moving. Ah, stay down. Ow! Whoops. And I just overloaded my own mech and blew up. I overheated myself just to get myself moving again, and then I fired my missiles again, and it overloaded me even more. So my mech just blew itself to pieces.
25% of the enemies are eliminated.
Yeah, I am truly a great pilot. On the bright side though, Skypian, I rammed something, so there you go. Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Override shut down.
And that's why heat is such a problem. Your mech shuts itself down if it gets too hot, but you can override that to move while still too hot. It's just you risk damaging your engine if you don't cool off. So yeah, if you hit the override, don't do things that heat up because you're going to blow yourself to pieces. Basically,
Introducing critical damage. Heat level critical.
looking pretty even, but yeah. Anyway. And that's the drawback of high heat weapons. You can do that to yourself. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I'm not doing very well in these games, am I? I took in a Locust and got caught in a fighting match against a Kodiak. I took in an Urban Mech and managed to overheat myself to the point where my mech literally self-destructed. What can I do for an Encore? I don't think I can top that, actually. I don't know. I think the only thing I could do to top that is go into a match without any weapons equipped or something stupid like that. Because I'm literally being very stupid in these. Like, I went in and engaged the Kodiak tore my armor open, and then I went and engaged a light mech with machine guns. So that's actually what killed me with that Locust. My armor was down, so it was like, since my armor was gone, machine guns do extra critical damage if they hit structure. So that's why I died so fast. It just critted out my engine. So, yeah. Anyway, I said I'd do something with packs. Fall off a cliff and die. You actually can do that. It's hard to do, but you can do it. I think I want to take this one. The ram something and die. Yeah, that's even harder. But again, still possible. But yeah, here we go. I'll take this one. Ocular. Since Raz was asking about particle weaponry, this one has particle weaponry. 5 particle weapons to be exact. I just want to get my boosters equipped. Actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't worry about money because it's Christmas, isn't it? Do I have a Christmas thing? No, I don't actually have the Christmas lights. Aw. Maybe I'll just equip something else. I can have a cupcake along with me. There we go. The trash can. I might as well do that actually. Or bring some beer along. Yeah, there's all sorts of fun little things in here. Let's bring that. Let's bring the. I don't know. Might as well bring that. Then for the mount, I guess I'm going to keep using my normal one, which is this. I've not actually killed anything yet, so you've not actually heard it do anything. So, you know. But yeah, these war horns, they play whenever you get a kill. And they actually play on the outside of the mech, so anyone nearby hears it as well. There we go. I'm going to save that, yep. So I've got a Seagull booster, I've got my normal shields, and I've got a trash can sitting on my console with a little urban mech inside it. But if I actually had them though, there's so many other things in here. This is one of the main monetizations for the game. It's so many different things in here. Like, I could actually put a drill on here if I could afford it. Different flags, different stuff. But around here there should be Christmas lights. I think it's in this slot. I know I saw Christmas lights. Unfortunately, I'm not going to buy it because I don't have any MC, but you know, I thought, hey, might as well show it to you guys. Is it in this one? Must be in this one, actually. There's a Christmas wreath, which sways. Where's the Christmas lights? Is it the Warhorn? Is it the mounted slot? Oh, it must be. Oh yeah, here we are. Yeah, the lights are in the mount slot. But yeah, we can get Christmas lights if we wanted to. Just string them up across the mech, basically. Just to be festive. But as I said, I don't have any MC, so I can't get those. I just wanted to show them to you guys. But yeah, what I've got is the shield, which does this one. So yeah, it's that. Okay, let's go. Oh wait, I didn't show you the mech lab, did I? This guy's got some heavy machine guns in the arms, but his weaponry is snub-nose PPCs in the side torsos and center torso. And a lot of heat sinks to try and keep himself from blowing himself up. But even with so many heat sinks added, he still runs pretty hot. Now, the snub-nose PPC is a version of PPC which doesn't have a minimum range, because normally they do. If you hit something that's too close, it doesn't do any damage. But this one can damage things at point-blank range, but it's not got as much maximum range as the other PPC types. So that's why I've got snub-nose PPCs in this thing. Because let's face it, it's a big, massive assault mech. People are going to notice if you're attacking them with this thing. That's what it's about. I mean, would you ignore a 100-ton assault machine that's walking at you, shooting at you with very bright, glowy lights? I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be rather concerned, actually, if a machine like this was moving at me, firing all weapons. So, you know. Okay, here we go. But yeah, Raz, I'm kind of surprised that you actually joined this stream. I mean, didn't you say that Mechwarrior Online isn't really your thing? Or something like that. Let's go for Rublesso Oasis again. And the game mode is Assault, which is Base versus base. You look at your shields in your spaceship, grin, and nuke it. The thing is, Raz, there's no shields in this game. Well, not NG shields anyway. Some mechs have a physical shield, or they use their arms to try and block incoming damage, but, you know. I'm getting an itchy nose from this mustache, I think. Yeah, something like that is fine. You better notice, because the thing about this one is, it's got particle cannons, yeah. It's got 5 of them, yeah. But the way it's set up is like it fires them one after another. So it's chain fire mode. It's like PPC strike, PPC, 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 PPC. It just keeps firing them at very high speed. So it's like effectively a particle machine gun in a way. Is there an auto aim or auto assist? Mostly no, actually. Some weaponry, well, I can unlock my arms to get better tracking, because the arms, if your arms have a lower actuator built into those, then the arms can be unlocked and swing around on your screen faster than your mech can actually turn its torso. So you can do that. It does help to aim that way. It's faster to aim that way for weapons in your arms. It doesn't help on torso weapons though. But as for actually guided weapons, there is homing missiles, which can lock on. But apart from that, everything is manually aimed. So yeah, no further assists available. But yeah, here we go. In my case, my arms have heavy machine guns in them, but my PPCs are in the torso. Okay, let's go. Let's start to stomp forward in my massive, massive mech. I think this is actually only my second time on this map. The first time was...
at all?
I didn't catch that. What did you say?
I mean, in the wash. They just look smaller to me now.
I think they were talking about the Annihilator, I'm not sure. The Annihilator is, by the way, the tallest mech in the game. So, yeah.
Target
Oh, that's what
acquired.
she said. They were talking about something shrinking in the wash. I'm not... I don't know what they're talking about, quite honestly. But anyway,
New target acquired.
400... Hello! Friends, hello! And I actually overloaded really easily.
Override engaged.
Okay, I'm overriding, but I am actually cooling down already as well, so yeah. I have a lot of weapons, but I do overheat really easily if I'm not careful. But that said, I'm in a massive Annihilator that's like, yeah. I can take punishment if I need to. Okay, that guy's dead. I got kill assists because
Base
they're all
is being
dead.
captured.
However, our base is being captured. So let's wander up here.
New target acquired.
There's Victor over there. Okay, someone's decided I'm a worthy target. Where is he?
New target acquired.
Hello, it's another Kodiak. And I just blew his arm off. Come back here. Come back and fight me, coward. Come back and fight my mighty, mighty Annihilator. Who will overheat and shut down right in front of you because that is just your convenience. Okay, let's go this way, and... Oh, hello, Javelin.
Critical. Heat sink destroyed.
Ow.
Torso critical damage. New target acquired.
Right, move! He's trying to punch with my armour. However, my armour is actually standing up to it because I'm a 100-ton mech. My rear armour's actually been blown through. And they tried to artillery strike me as well, so yeah. Get behind cover. Right, I can turn off my override again. But that Victor is kind of pummeled at the moment.
Thank you, Phoenix.
So much so that one of our allies is moving in to try and help. Okay, the rest, more of my backups here. I'm pushing up. Okay. Someone's got Christmas Jingle as their
critical.
Target destroyed.
He's getting all the kills as well. Aww. Alright, okay.
Target acquired.
There's a Warhammer over there. Let's go and say hello. Because most of the enemies are now dead, so we've got a death ball rolling. Oh, no wonder, he's got Gauss rifles. Jeez. Okay. Where's the last 3 enemies? Oh, there's one. There's the Warhammer.
Target destroyed.
I think I'm just going off a cliff now. Yep. Ow. Straight off a cliff. Okay. Just need to catch up with them.
Target acquired.
But the enemies, yeah, they're getting
destroyed.
mobbed now.
Target acquired.
Well, the thing is, mechs are really expensive anyway.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks you for hanging out.
Nice going, guys. There we go. We actually came through and won that one. I didn't get any kills, but I know I got a bunch of assists on that. So yeah, I actually did 530 damage. I actually hit my team at some point, because there's -2 points for team damage. But I got 8 kill assists, so I managed to hit 2/3 of the enemy team during that. Is there any particular weapon system you guys want me to use next, or... Because that was a rapid-fire particle cannon loadout. So yeah, is there a weapon system you guys want me to put in there next? Especially you, Raz, because this is the first time you've really looked at this, isn't it? Or rather, the first time you've been in a stream for it. I don't know how much you've watched the videos. Go for a big boom. Machine guns. I don't have a massive machine gun mech, actually. I don't have one. Well, the thing is, I tend to specialise mechs, so long-range swarm missiles for indirect fire. That means LRMs. Did I just accidentally... I just accidentally stripped the mech out, didn't I? Yes, I just accidentally stripped out the equipment. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Continue, yes. Hopefully that's re-equipped it. Unless I saved it, which I think I did. Oh, darn it. Yeah, I just accidentally stripped out the entire configuration. But I'll put it back together some other time. Okay, right. Long-range swarm missiles for induct fire, then Dakar Gatlings for the rest. So you want me to put together a mech which has long-range missiles for bombardment and has projectile weaponry for direct engagements. And if we want big, heavy boom, we need to use an assault chassis for this. Yes, it's typical of me to do something, isn't it? That's an energy missile. So yeah, we need a ballistic missile configuration. We have got this one, which is 6 AC2s. Add some energy weapons for backup, also rapid fire. The problem with that is, Raz, that every mech has so many slots of each weapon type. So that's why I'm looking at my chassis right now, trying to work out what hard points they've got. What's this one? This is my LBX-10 large pulse. Yeah, I think we could use that. I mean, actually no. Twin ballistic, quad energy, quad missile. And I've not used this one in some time. This is my SR massive short range missile bombardment King Crab. It's another 100-tonner, so there's no need to worry about weight as much. Also, Raz, locations on the mech are restricted to weaponry types as well. That's one of the big differences. You can only have certain types and certain number of things in each point. So, in this case, this mech can take one ballistic weapon in both arms. Its right torso can take 4 energy weapons. Its left torso can take 4 missile weapons. So this one has got missiles on the shoulder. On that shoulder over there. But the rest of it is something I can do. So, let's see. Let's strip this mech down. Deliberately this time. Because it's pretty close to what we're trying to do. And start to load it with gear. Now then. It was fitted with SRM6s. We want LRMs. LRM10... Well, we've got the Artemis upgrade on this, so it gets more accurate if the enemy's actually within visual targeting. I've only got a few Artemis launchers though. Like I put this pair of LM15 launchers on it, giving it an LM30 burst for long range. We need big boom, so that would be cannons. For the cannons, well, big boom would be the standard type. It's not going to be a shotgun type or a rapid fire type, which is actually a smaller caliber shot. So I think we're wanting standard auto cannon. In this case, double AC-20s. Massive purple weapon systems. Now, we need to put an engine into this thing, of course. So, engines. We could put a 3... What do I have in terms of better fitted weapon? I don't have any light engines. I could put an XL engine into it. We've got 300 rated XLs, so let's put one of those in. You retract your Daka until Raz gets his mech. Well, Tiny wanted big boom as well, Skypian, actually. Tim wanted big boom as well, which is why I went for the AC-20s. However, yeah, autocannons are basically rapid fire, high explosive cannons, so yeah. But we'll see if we can put together a machine gun mech for you after this one, Skypian. So yeah, I've not forgotten that. We've only got 3 slots left. Which is actually really bad. 3 slots remaining. We've got plenty of tonnage though, so... maybe standard structure? That gives us 11.5 tons left over. But more importantly, it gives us space to put some ammo in. Since that might be kinda sorta useful. Let's see, 3 tons of ammo for the missiles. 4 tons of ammo for the cannons. And then we need some energy weapons in the last 4.5 tons of space. Okay, how do you get your medicine then? Well, Skyping, the Gorse is not a big boom. The Gorse is actually a really fast armor-piercing projectile. And let's slap in some ER med lasers as my energy option. So that's a medium range barrage of weapons. Are there non-weapon systems? Yes, there are. If I go to my equipment section, I've got double heat sinks, which help to cool the mech down a bit more. I actually need some of those. Unfortunately, I've not got much more way of tonnage left. I could strip out the LM15s and put in LM20, actually. It'll reduce my missile burst, but gives me some more tonnage to play with. But yeah, double heat sinks. I can put those in there, and they help with my cooling. I can put in standards. Their single heat sinks is another option. They are smaller, but less effective for the size. So they're only one slot rather than three. Same weight though. But I've got some engine slots available for that because I've got a big engine. So I'm going to slap the double heat sinks into the engine to help keep the mech a bit cooler. I've got a bit more space, so I'll put one of them too. Sensors, yeah. We have a Beagle Active Probe, which is... It's basically gives 25% range boost to my sensors. It lets me lock onto targets faster and things like that. It also counters ECM, so if enemy mech's got an ECM system on it, then this thing will help cut through that. Then I've got Command Console, which is, and Targeting Computers, which all give like various boosts. Command Console is a really small, somewhat heavy option, which is only available for big mechs. It gives me better zoom levels, better sensor range, and better targeting time. Then I've got the Targeting Computers Mark 1 through Mark 8, which get bigger and heavier with each one, but their bonuses get larger as well. They give zoom boost, sensor boost, target boost. They also increase beam range, make projectiles go faster, and give me extra chance to do critical damage if I'm hitting an enemy mech structure rather than their armor. So there's a lot of stuff in here. Though at Mark 1 and 2 it's like very small, like 7%, 10%, 3.5% range boost on my lasers, things like that. If a Mark 8 is put in though, then that is a beam boost of 10%. Sensor, my zooms are like 42 to 50% better. Well, and stuff like that. Hang on, let me save this and go on to a different mech. There it is. Buy stuff. What do I need to buy? No, I've already got that. What am I buying? Am I... Oh, I must be buying one of the autocannons. 600... No, I've got spare autocannons. I'm not sure what I'm buying then. Is it the engine? Shouldn't be. Yeah, I've got multiple engines. I don't know what I'm paying for. I think it's probably mostly ammo. And ER meds. Anyway, ECM, unfortunately, is a special hard point. So only certain mechs have those. I know my Ravens have got access to some of those, I think. So, do you guys have ECM? No, you got an anti-missile system slot, which is a different one. So have you. I don't really have many ECM mechs. Oh wait, yeah, my Locust has one. There we go. Look, it's like any other hardpoint. It goes in a certain slots type, but it gives access to this Guardian ECM. Oh, the ECCM. Well, ECM doesn't stop you from locking. It makes you lock more slowly. That's what ECM does. But yeah, it's got a very short range. It's got it reduces the range that well, it makes it less effective. But it can also be... It can basically shield others, or it can shield you. That's what it does. But yeah, the ECCM, you mean the Beagle Active Probe. Where's the mech I was meching around with? This one? Yeah, it's this one. ECCM sensors. It's useful, but it has... Well, hang on. Where is it? Beagle Active. Range boost and targeting time also helps cut through ECM. Yeah, Beagle Active. It's actually spot on that. almost. So I've put that in. That leaves me with 1 ton spare, which is enough to mount an additional heatsink. So there we go. We got 4 tons of ammo for my autocannons, 3 tons for the LM20, Beagle active probe, ER med lasers as the backup system, and an XL300, which gives us a 48.6 kilometers an hour top speed. So yeah, this is why the mech lab is an integral part of this game. You can just keep messing around with things so much. Weapon grouping. I want that one. Then I want Group 3 to be the... No, Group 3 is the missile. Group 4 is the lasers. I'll split the cannons because there's 1 in each arm and this is a wide mech. So if you poke around cover or a building or something, you don't want to fire both because then you're just firing 1 shell straight into whatever's protecting you. So in this mech, having weapon systems on 1 arm split from weapons on the other arm is quite useful. So I'm going to do that. Owned. Equipped on other mechs. Really? What mech has that? It must have been in the Irby. I'm guessing. Right, I keep clicking up there. It's down here. Save. Yeah, I think. Isn't it? Yeah. The problem with that, Raz, is I don't have keys for those weapon groups. I'd have to use the keyboard instead. No, that's empty. That's empty. Where have I put the thing? Did I start to equip a different mech? I don't think I did. So... for some reason, I'm not sure where I put my medallion. Oh well, I have to put some 8-bit sunglasses in. I'm mildly irritated by that. Because it means I put my only Seable boosting medallion somewhere and I don't know where I put it. Oh dear. Hang on, there's something flashing behind my camera, so... What? Why are you requesting... I don't even know anymore. I think I've lost it. Yeah, that's available, that's not. So, what was I doing that messed this up? Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Equipped on another mech, yes. Equipped on this mech, yes. I've equipped on another mech. What? I left some stuff equipped somewhere else, so I'm going to have to get some different parts. That'll do. Anyway, let's actually go ahead and throw this thing into fighting now. But yeah, as I said, I've only got 4 buttons on my mouse, so there's no point really in me configuring 5 and 6 because then I'd have to use the keyboard keys for it. What are you requesting? To annoy you? That's why. No, it's because I was trying to buy another one of those shields, as it turns out, because I can't actually see my the price for finishing fitting because it's behind my camera on screen. So yeah, can't see that. So it was complaining because I didn't have the mech credits to buy the shield because I left the shield equipped on some other mech somewhere and I don't know where it is. So yeah, that's why I've just fitted a different warhorn this time. Let's see, I'm trying to think about ballistic slots now. Like To make a really solid machine gun mech, we need to have a mech with a lot of ballistic hardpoints on it. And I'm not sure I've got a decent one. I don't have a blackjack. Maybe my rifleman would be good as a machine gun mech. Not sure. Why not put the camera further to the side? Because when we're actually in the fights, this is a good place to have the camera. Because when we're actually fighting, it doesn't block anything. It's just that it blocks the refit costs and the save outfit button when we're in the mech lab. That's the only place this camera position actually blocks. So otherwise, if I put it somewhere else on the screen, it's going to block something else, and it's like makes it kind of tricky. So yeah. Anyway, this is the RAS configuration on my King Crab. We will see how well this thing does. Though I do kind of hope that Raz is enjoying watching this, because, as I said, he doesn't normally watch the MWO stuff at all. But there's a lot of monkeying around you can do in this game. As you saw when I spent ages just trying to balance my equipment in this King Crab. I think it's pretty accurate to say that like half of the game is like mech lab, configuring your war machine, and then you take your war machine out into the fights, and then that comes down to your piloting skill with it. Why not put the cam just in there and not on the screen? Because I prefer to be able to see what you guys see. That's why I've got the chat on my screen here. Like I can tell that when I put my hand there, you couldn't see it, though I had my hand up. I knew that because the camera's on, so it's like here. Half the game is meth lab. Really? Well, to be fair, I guess that is kind of what I said, isn't it? We've lost a huntsman, apparently.
Online.
Huntsman.
Sensors online. Weapons
I think that's a heavy mech, actually. So we're down a heavy mech, if
All
I'm right.
systems nominal.
Or at the very least a medium.
Coming in. Capture the target area and
Oh well,
engage
not
any
insurmountable. Yeah, here we go. Here is our King Crab. Slowly stomping. I don't think I have lower arm actuators in this thing, so let's unlock my arms for a second. No, I don't. I've just got up and down. I do, however, have access to this. Let's see now. I need to open my arms. Let's see. There we go. Arms are now open. Because some mechs have covers on their weapon pods and things. In the King Crab's case, the King Crab's claws are they're closed, but you can open them and leave them open. It does actually move the hitboxes around as well. But the thing is, there's no benefits to keeping the cannon hidden in this case, because it doesn't protect it in any way. It's just like a cosmetic thing. Except for the fact that if you fire a weapon that's actually hidden behind a cover of some sort, it takes like half a second for the cover to open and then the weapon fires, so it delays the weapon firing, which is not so good. Okay, let's try the lasers. 20% heat, not too bad. Oh, hello, he's checking us out. Hello. Hello. Yes. I don't know why that roughneck was saying hello, but yep.
Target spotted.
He said hello to us, and we're slowly waddling along.
Target spotted.
But yeah, this thing doesn't have an ECM, so it's not really a sneaker. It doesn't have stealth armor either. That's something we didn't look at actually in the mech lab. The fact you can change, well, I mention this every time we go into a video, like what upgrades it's got fitted out to its basic chassis. But basically, there's variants of the mech's skeleton and armor you can increase the bulk so it takes up internal space, but it reduces the weight it takes as well. And then there's a special version which only ECM fitted mechs can use, which is stealth armor, which makes it literally impossible to lock onto you while it's active. But while it's active, it also blocks a lot of your heat dissipation. Yeah, the king crab does love to shake its rear end as it walks around. Speaking of, it's time to start using the missiles. So use a missile, lock on, get the target lock, and then start firing.
New target acquired.
Stop shooting at me, darn it.
Target spotted.
They've realised I'm here, yeah.
Incoming missile. New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Warning, incoming missile.
Yeah, they are really focusing fire on me.
Incoming missile. Warning, incoming missile.
Target
I
spotted.
don't normally fight in this level, but yeah.
Target spotted.
Are they in range for LRMs? Yes. That's why I was firing. Yeah, I was wondering where the other assaults were,
Target
actually.
destroyed.
Anyway, LRMs, they have a maximum range of about 1 kilometre.
New
So,
target
yeah, pretty long
acquired.
range. The problem is, for them to home in, you've got to get a lock. And then you can fire them.
Target spotted.
So yeah, I'm trying to bombard them a bit now, but their LRM Storm were hitting me. That did massive amounts of
New
damage.
target acquired.
Especially because the other assaults didn't move up with me, so I was all by myself, so they just started throwing missiles at me. Okay.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Just keep firing. Right.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Oh jeez, hello. That Cyclops is actually really badly damaged. Also, that Annihilator is overheating. I'm not sure what he's got equipped, but it doesn't seem to be very effective.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Torso critical damage.
Oh dear, my right torso is damaged. Oh jeez.
Center torso.
The problem is I've got an XLN.
damage.
Oh, there.
Left torso.
Armor?
critical
What armor?
damage.
I don't need any armor. Oh no 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 no.
New target acquired. Target destroyed.
Target spotted.
Oh dear, that assault, that Annihilator's arm just got blown off. I am so badly damaged now though.
Target acquired. Right arm
Ow.
destroyed.
Well, there goes one of my cannons.
Right leg
Ugh.
critical damage. Autocannon destroyed. Heat sink destroyed.
They've taken down Beta.
Ow. Yeah. Unfortunately, that was not really a good match because they were like over the hill and just quite happily bombarding us and letting us try to push over the top. So yeah, I mean I barely got to use my cannons in that one. So yeah.
New target
Excuse me.
acquired.
So
Target spotted.
that was quad EL Med, double autocannon, and also an LOM-20. What now? My thoughts on it.
New target
LOM-20 by
acquired.
itself could have done with some more LOMs, quite honestly. But I prefer to specialise my mechs into a certain role. That's why it's usually better not to split your weight, like half of it LRM and half of it massive cannons and things like that. So
Warning, incoming
oftentimes
missile.
you have to play your builds just to see what it's like. That's part of the reason why you need to test it and things like that. It may look good in the lab, but then it might play badly or very differently from what you expect of it. Like this one, it was doing okay bombarding a bit with the LRMs, but when it was pushing up, it really struggled to use the cannons. So
Warning,
that's
incoming
my thought
missile.
on it. It's not really, doesn't really work well with those cannons. If it had some other weaponry, like an MRM launcher for massive volleys of dumbfire missiles, that'd be great.
New target
But the
acquired.
LRMs, I think the LRM takes away from the rest of the mech in this case.
Target spotted.
Maybe Streak SRM. because Streak SRM is the guided version.
New target acquired.
But this is an assault mech, so you want to be twisting your torso around to try and spread out incoming damage to try and survive better. So you might not have time to do weapon locks when you're actually getting into a closer range fight. Because you're an assault and you're in front, so you're the one that they're going to be shooting at. Quite honestly. So then you're talking about the tactics of the game itself and things like that. So all in all, yeah, it's definitely a very flexible mech, but I don't think it's powerful enough in the specific ranges of what it's trying to do, because it's like you either use the LRMs or you use the cannons, and sometimes you use the lasers. At least that's what I think about it. Sorry for going into analysing the build, by the way. That's just what I tend to do sometimes, isn't it? Also, people don't seem to be interested in watching this very much right now. So, yeah. Anyway, Skypian. I said I'd try and find a mech to do your machine guns on. Right. Yeah, basically that's that. I think that's actually pretty close to some of the stock loadouts. Pretty good. Take a massive beating and laughing. King Crab is sadly one of the ones with better armor ratings as well, so it's actually a really tough one, this. The King Crab. But if they start attacking you outright, even the heaviest mechs can't stand for long. It depends on what you've got, and also how you apply the skills. I've not actually touched on the skill system either, have I? As a support, yeah. I'd say, Raz, if you want to keep the LRMs as a support option, drop it to like a 10 tube launcher. It'll fire faster, so it'll still do some decent DPS. But the 10 tube would free up some weight to go into the rest of the mech. Like, you can maybe upgrade the lasers to make them more powerful. Stuff like that. Anyway, Melt will take a massive beating. And laughing. I've not shown this in the stream, but since we're showing things for Raz, we might as well show it as well. Every mech earns experience as it fights, as it does damage, as it dies. Stuff like that. It earns experience points for the particular mech chassis. So you get some general experience points, but the mech earns some as well, and you can spend the mech experience points, in this. The skill tree. So you can use this to further modify and tweak the performance of the mechs by boosting the various characteristics of them. Like what Skypian is talking about, like if you want to survive massive beating, then you want a mech which has got really high armor and structure by default, especially structure, but both is really good. And you want one that has bonuses for that kind of thing already, so that makes it even better. And then you want to spend points in the survival tree. And by spending points in here, you can increase the levels of your armor and your internal structure and things like that. So if I was to go for reinforced casing, shock absorbing. Reinforced casing is plus 1%. Sorry, is what? Minus 1% chance of getting hit with a critical damage strike. So it makes the enemy do less critical damage to you, effectively. Then you also get armor hardening, which is plus 1% to your mech's armor points. And skeletal density, which is 2.5% structure level. So how much damage a point of your mech can take before it gets blown off or something. And I can't afford all these, so just so you know, I'm not actually doing this. But I'm clicking them all in so I can see what the maximum possible bonus is for this. Lots of guns, we're also going to take hits to armor and hull in it. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean, even if I didn't know where you were coming from. Okay, so I've clicked everything in the skill tree. This is 35 points out of a maximum of 91, which any mech can have assigned to it at any given time. But if I maxed out my survival tree, it would be 10% extra armor, 25% extra structure, damage from falling would be reduced by half, my AMS system will be more powerful, and there's an 8% reduction in the chance of receiving critical hits to my structure. So that would protect my components from critical damage if I was to spend all my points into the survival tree. Though that said, I don't have any points. So yeah, I was just wanting to show that to you, Raz. So that's an example. You can also do things with heat management, weapon performance, jump jets, how well your mech moves, that kind of thing. So you can tweak your mech further and further and further. Anyway, back to finding a mech to put lots of machine guns on. Machine guns. There are not flares, but there are anti-missile systems. One of the javelins is a good example of that. Yeah, some mechs have one. Very rare mechs have 2 anti-missile hardpoints. It's like the ECMs and the weapons, they've got their own dedicated hardpoints to put them into, which is this one. And if it's on the mech, it unlocks the AMS weapon set, which can have a standard AMS, which is projectile based, so again, ammo limit on it. But if I put that on it, then you've got this CIWS pod that appears on top of its of the mounting point. So yeah, I can put in just put the AMS systems in there. So double AMS on a small mech, and those things try to shoot down missiles that are heading in your general direction, so they protect your allies as well. There is also the laser AMS version, which is slightly bigger and it's much heavier, but it doesn't need ammo. However, it generates heat when it's operating. So yeah, you're trading the ammo use for larger, heavier, and needs heat, and generates heat, so it could overload your mech if you use it too much. But yeah, that's your anti-missile options to stop stuff. Though of course, there's the biggest protection against missiles of all. Move behind something that will block the shots. That's the main thing that you really have to use when you're getting bombarded with LRMs. And honestly, I couldn't use that in that match because it's like I was down in a ravine behind some rocks. There was nothing for me to hide behind, so I couldn't stop the missiles coming in. With the reduced LRM and, well, and a replacement for the cannons. What kind of replacement for the cannons are you thinking of? Well, right now I'm searching for a high ballistic mech. By the way, I'm looking at the stats top right. The top one is marked, the top one for under hardpoints is ballistic. So that one's got 4 ballistics. So yeah, basically I'm looking for as many ballistic mounts as possible. PVC instead of cannons. No, the slots don't work that way. Ballistic slots only hold ballistic weapons. However, different mech versions have different hardpoint arrangements. Yeah, the best protection is just cover, basically. Just don't get hit. It's very helpful. King Crab, however, can't get out of its own way, let alone the way of incoming fire, so, you know. Problem is I've got a lot of NG-based mechs. Oh, that one's got 4 hard points on it as well. I'm still looking for something better than 4 hard points. Looking at my Uziels. Nope. Well, Uziel's not really a ballistic mech. So, Black Knights, no, they're definitely not on this. Yeah, you're on Kindle. That's why I mentioned that what I was actually looking at. Because I figured you might not be able to see it. Yeah, a lot of my mechs are NG weapons. Here's my Rifleman. It's also got 4 on it, but it's also got a bunch of NG weapon hardpoints too. I think it's my Annihilators that have got the most ballistic hardpoints out of all of my mechs, but even then they're not super good ones. Yeah, there's an Annihilator which has got 6 on it. This King Crab has got 6 as well. 6, 4, 4... Most of my options are like 4 ballistic hardpoints, so that's 4 machine guns. Yeah. However, something else, of course, is other hardpoints. Like I mentioned, the Rifleman is here, which has got 4 NG weapons as well. and it's a, I think it's a 60-ton mech. Yeah, 60-ton mech. So this rifleman would have 4 machine guns, 4 energy weapons. It's got an anti-missile slot, and it's 60 tons, so you can add more stuff into it as well to try and help its endurance. The tankiest possible mech. I think that would be the Atlas. Hang on. Let's look in the store page. I can browse the available mechs in here. Battle mechs, yeah. Assault class mechs. The Atlas, I believe, has armor bonus. Yeah, it's got massive base armor additions across the entire mech. The Annihilators, I believe, do not. Oh, wait, no, they have got some, but not as much, actually. Yeah. They've got some tankiness boost from those. By the way, also the Annihilators have got a reduced incoming critical hit chance as well. I never knew they actually had that. But, yeah, the Atlas has got more armor boost, so it's actually tougher. Uh, 614 max possible. I think it's the same with the Annihilator. Yeah, 614 max possible. So yeah, I think the Atlas is actually the toughest one. I don't think the Zeus is... Well, basically the Zeus is smaller and lighter anyway. What about a Kodiak? What's that look like? Oh, the Kodiak doesn't have armor enhancements. It's a clan mech, of course. What's his max armor? Still 614. Okay. Does it have any bonuses on its omnipods? Yeah. Equipment. Oh wait, no. Kodiak is not an omni-mech. Whoops. King Crab, the ones we were playing, they've got some armor bonuses, but not as much as the Annihilator or the Atlas. So, Dire Wolf, what about you? You are an Omni-Mech, so you can be reconfigured. You don't have any armor bonuses, though. But yeah, as I said, you can be reconfigured. Omnipods. Is there a difference? Turn rate, your speed bonuses, clan UAC. I don't think there's a bonus. Yeah, that's all the same. Okay, so yeah, the Dire Wolf can't actually tank as well. Load. Oh, you mean loadout wise? You mean ECM and anti-missile and stealth armor? Stealth armor, as I said, when it's engaged, if you're in anything past like 30 tons, your mech overheats steadily. Even then, your heat dissipation is reduced to almost nothing, even on the smallest of mechs. So stealth armor is not an option for tanking. However, there is an Annihilator which has an ECM. Sorry, not an Annihilator. There's an Atlas with an ECM slot. Yeah, here we go. The DDC. It's got an AMS and an ECM on it. The rest of the Atlases mostly have just one AMS, though there is actually one here, the Atlas K, which has 2 AMS on it. Yeah. So in terms of tankiness, you've got the Atlas K with double anti-missile systems, or you've got the DDC, which is 1 anti-missile and 1 ECM. However, the Atlas K has actually got a minus 25% chance of taking incoming critical damage. And I think it's actually got better armor than the DDC version. 31, 21, 17, 21. Oh no, it's got the same armor bonus. But it's got that minus incoming critical hits, which means it'll preserve its equipment better once its armor's been broken down. So yeah, it depends on which one you want to look at, really. The Atlas K which is quad energy, 1 missile, 1 ballistic. Or the DDC, which is 2 ballistics, 2 energy, and a treble missile, as well as ECM protection and anti-missile system. An ECM plus a laser anti-missile system. Better than the laser AMS plus crit resist. Okay. Mech lab. Let's view it in the mech lab. I don't have this mech, remember, so, you know, but I can still look at it. This is what it's equipped with by default. It's got an LRM, an SRM, autocannon, and 2 lasers as its backup equipment. But yeah, we can strip all that out though. Like you could actually go double rack 5 in the side torso if you really wanted to. So then you've got like twin Gatling cannons just strapped onto the side of the mech. Like that. That's one of the things I like to do sometimes. I like to just get a mech and then mess around with the settings just to see what it looks like. Because it can be quite interesting. Okay, that's a UAC. It came fitted with this, which is an AC-20. Like this massive cannon. And then there's the missile pods on the other side, which are... you could add these massive amounts of dumbfire missiles to it. A purse full of lead. Basically, yeah, because it's just like straps it onto the side of it. It's like, this is the mech. Oh, by the way, we want to mount a weapon there. Let's just strap this massive assembly onto it and then put a machine gun in it. That is a machine gun in it, by the way. Oh, it's just like, yes, fear our machine guns. I wonder how much ammo they're holding in that space, though. I don't know. I just don't know. Double light force. Or you could add double shotguns, actually. Just double LBX autocannons. But yeah, that is the Atlas, though. It's quite an interesting mech. It's meant to be the toughest of the tough, so, and it actually literally is. It's the most durable. It's the most durable mech you can get. Yeah, Atlas is very hard to take out. Usually pretty sluggish, but yeah, it's like... I mean, it's even got a skull for a head assembly. So, you know, it's a very nasty piece of equipment. But I don't have one, so... Anyway, back to my mech lab, back to my mech lab, back to my mech lab. I really think the best I can do in terms of an MG platform is... Well, the problem with an assault-based one is it's too slow at the end of the day. It's just too slow to really get around much. So, if you're using a primarily... If you want to make an MG platform, you're really better off to just, like, getting something smaller and faster, quite honestly, because it's a small weapon, so a smaller mech can get it into position to make use of it better. In which case, you might as well just take a light or a medium. So, if I was going to take a brawling platform, I'd take the Rifleman. While the mediums, I would say... Well, I've got a 4-slotted Enforcer in here, I think. Yeah, this one. It's got 4 ballistic and a single energy hardpoint. Well, the best mechs, Skypian, have like 8 machine guns on a light mech, so, you know, kind of nasty things. But as I said, I don't have any high ballistic output ones. Most of my mechs I bought when I was favouring energy weapons. I didn't learn to use ballistics until after I'd got most of my current mechs, so... Yeah, I often regret my lack of ballistic hardpoint options, quite honestly. And then to make myself feel better, I do things like take a Raven and then strap an autocannon 20 into one of its arms, just for the lulz of it. So, you know. But yeah. Do you want to see a light or a medium? PPCs do so without ammo issues and lots of DAC for the rest. Yeah, that's does sound like something you'd want to do, really, Raz. And then it would become a question of like, how do you want to balance those weapon systems? Because you've got to remember the DDT can actually support 2 energy hardpoints, so it would be like 2 PPCs in the arms. It can support 2 missile launchers, so what do you want there? Like, do you want 15 or 20 tubes or something like that? And then you got the ballistic hardpoints in the torso as well, so it's like, what do you want as your backup weaponry? So you've got a lot of stuff you could try and do. Okay, so for medium, I believe it was just the Enforcer that had 4. Oh no, my Griffin actually has 4 as well. Interesting. The Griffin has, I believe, it's all 4 on one arm, while the Enforcer is, I think, 4 across both arms. Yeah, okay. Oh, the Griffin is 5 tons heavier, though. So yeah, Skype, do you want me to try and do this with the Griffin or with the Enforcer? One's a 50-ton mech, the other's a 55-ton mech. So yeah, this guy or this guy. Big down missile rack. What's the difference between them? Well, one's 5 tons heavier, so it can carry a little bit more stuff, but it's a little bit slower. This one's can actually take more jump jets as well. It's got better maximum jump range. Max engine ratings, because mechs also have different engine ratings. They have different weapons in different places around the mech as well, and things like that. And they've also got different stock bonuses, like I think, yeah, the Griffin's got more structure. So if the armor fails, it's got more hit points before it gets killed outright. While this one's got reinforced legs and arms on the Enforcer, actually. And it's got benefit to ballistic weaponry for the most part. This one's got a couple of ballistic bonuses, but this one's got more bonuses. So there's more benefits to using the Enforcer, but they're different configurations available. Like, let's expand this one. Like, this one's got 4 in the arm, 2 missile slots in the torso, and it's got 2 engine hardpoints and an AMS hardpoint as well. So the Griffin can actually mount a lot more stuff. But the Enforcer is also a smaller target. So as you can see, it's not as bulky, so it's harder to hit. But yeah, anyways, missiles. Strip out the equipment. So yeah, that's one of the things to be aware of when you're choosing a mech or a mech variety. What kind of weaponry can it take? What sort of slots does it have? Now, Skypian, do you want light machine gun, standard machine gun, or heavy machine gun? Because there's those 3 different versions of machine gun. Basically, light machine gun versus normal machine gun. Light machine gun's got half the damage, but it's got more range to it. Heavy machine gun weighs twice as much, but it's more powerful at a shorter range. So, yeah. And I'll just put the rest of the thing together. Let's see, we probably want to get an XL for engine for the weight saving, though that does make us more vulnerable. Let's stop 300 into that again. 88 kilometers an hour, that's not too bad. You were interested in the missile rack, so I'm guessing you want something in the missile rack, because without a missile system actually equipped, the missile rack disappears. So I think you want a missile system in there, from how you reacted to it. And you want heavy machine guns. Okay, and that will be like heavy. So yeah, basically it's just like it's got like these 4 things. What's the benefit of locking a target? If you lock onto a target, you can see what weaponry they've got fitted and what the condition their armor is in. So you can see how damaged their armor and structure is and stuff like that. And then it also means you can lock on with your guided weapons, and they show up to your allies as well, so they can lock onto them as well. As long as one of you has maintained the target lock, your allies can lock onto it too, and that's what allows the indirect fire. So your LOMs can fire at things that you can't see, because they arc upwards and go over things, so yeah. But that's only possible if you've got something to lock onto. So if you lock onto a target, they can start firing at it. So because they can see it as well. So it doesn't just help you, it helps your team too. As for a missile rack, we've got another 24 tons roughly to put into this thing. We've got the heavy MGs. Let's add in a couple of tons of ammo for the heavy machine gun. How many shots is that? That's 2,000 shots, so that's 500 shots per machine gun. Let's add another ton in there, 3 tons. How many locks can you do at the same time? Yep, you can only maintain 1 lock at a time. Which is something to be aware of if you're using guided weapons like LRMs, because you can lock on, and then if you lose target lock, then you've got to relock on something else. Also, missiles only home while you're locked on something as well. So if you lose the lock, your missiles, even if they're in the air at the time, they stop tracking. So yeah, they'll stop going after your target. Do I have an MRM40 available? Well, the thing is, these are actually designed. There was a massive era of technology, and then it regressed and went backwards. So a lot of technology was lost. But yeah, they can't maintain locks on a lot of things. They rely on the pilots quite a lot. I'm thinking an MRM launcher would be a good idea. Because it gives you the missile rack back. And it's like big blast of missile damage straight at the enemy's face. So it would help with the machine guns, because the MRMs will just soften up the armor massively. Or we can try putting in SRM-6s, which are the short-range missile version. They're basically short-range only, but they're basically like a missile shotgun style weapon. Damage of 12 each. Yeah, they don't do as much damage as the MRM, though. So 8 tons versus, yeah. MRM30 would do 26 versus 30. MRMs would do a lot more damage, but the missiles are a bit harder to aim. Well, another thing you've got to remember though, Raz, is that the Battletech system and Battletech itself actually originates like 20, 30 odd years ago, at least. So that was back before we had any of that stuff you're talking about now. So these machines and their concepts were not created back then. So yeah, just something to remember there. Yeah, I know. There is a lot of things we can do now that weren't really conceived of at the time. So, how about a big burst of an MRM of like 40 missiles? Or I could put in 2 MRM30s. No, I couldn't actually. The XL engine gets in the way. So a big burst of missiles. I guess ER meds to back it up. Okay. We need ammo for the missile system. Yeah, I love that as well. Most of my assault mechs, I put an LRM-5 or something on it, just in case I want to try and pepper something with missiles at long distance. So you can take a couple of tons and add an LRM system to most mechs. I've got 8 slots remaining. Problem is I want tonnage to get more stuff. So light ferro armor. And then I can mount some double heat sinks into the engine itself to help cool the mech down. Oh wait, no. I'm missing a ton. What have we got? Sensors. Not really needed. Plus, you got to remember to get the high critical chance boost on sensors. Then you need to have the big one, which weighs 8 tons. So that'll be one of these. I mean, that is absolutely really, really, really big. Actually, you know what? Sure, I'll strip that out. And I need to take off the light ferro armor as well, which leaves me like 2 tons under the weight requirement. So take the MRMs off as well, swap them down to an MRM 10, and that frees up enough space to mount a class 8 targeting computer, which is like 10%, well, about 15% chance to do crits, extra targeting, extra locking on, time, things like that. So yeah, that's a massive targeting computer. Basically the entire side of my mech is now a targeting system. It's just like lock on and go Dakar. And you know what? Might as well throw a Beagle active probe in there as well. Take the MRM off and actually put an LRM into it, because why the hell not? But yeah, we can fit an LRM 10 into there. Well, at least I thought we could. Oh, oh right. Well, it's a single one, so we can take out the MRM ammo. Put in an LRM. What was that if we put 15? That leaves 1 ton of ammo. 1 ton is not quite enough, so I'm going to put in an LRM 10 with Artemis. And I need to put some ammo in for it. Like 3 tons of ammo for that, 3 tons of ammo for the heavy machine gun, battery, double ER meds. Yeah, Eve's got a good locking system, but it's also more advanced as well. Automated turrets would be a problem though, because then it wouldn't be a skill-based thing, and also that's not in the lore too, but yeah. There's a lot of things you'd want to do to this kind of war machine to make it up to date. I think is the best way to put it. But yeah, here we go. We've got quad machine guns, double ER med lasers for energy weaponry, and we've got an LRM-10 for long-range bombardment. And both ammunition systems have got 3 tons of ammo. So yeah, okay. Weapon group 2 is the HMGs. Weapon group 3 and 4 is the LRM. Weapon group 1 is the ER meds. Half damage for auto-targeting. Yeah, probably. But again, we're now starting to compare different game systems, sadly. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I've done to this particular mech. And this is Skypion's mech. Let's see how it goes. It's got plenty of cooling at least, so there is that. It's not got much by way of heat generating equipment. But it's got a lot of sensor gear on it. It's going to lock onto things really quickly. And by the way, locking on also includes how quickly you get information on the target, like what their armor is like and stuff like that. So that means you get information on your targets, what you're shooting at, much more quickly as well. So yeah. Yes, indeed I did, Razul. Thank you very much. I've actually I've got the link up so that I can get that unofficial patch too. But yes, thank you. I was not expecting that at all. I was literally not expecting anything, and then suddenly, I've received 3 presents from people who watch me. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Freaking hat, blooming hat. Basically, yeah, Skypian. I mean, because it's a direct fire weapon, you can fire as soon as you think you're in range of the target. But with fast locking, you can see where to point when you're shooting at the mech because you can tell where their armor is weak. And that's especially important for machine guns because machine guns, they don't do much damage, so they're not very good against armor. But when they hit structure, they start to do massive critical damage and tear apart enemy subsystems, like they can tear out enemy weapons, they can blow out enemy heat sinks, destroy ammunition, destroy ammo reserves, and if you're aiming the right place, they'll destroy the enemy engine as well before the enemy structure comes apart. So, yeah.
All systems
Command and ground troops, defend our base and assault.
Yeah, actually, that's spot on, Raz. It has 3 stages. Detect enemy, that's the automatic one. It happens within your range. Then lock on is when you target them. So that's the one that you can only focus on one thing. And then it does the analyze stage. So, yeah, once you've locked on, then it's analyze it. And some holy hand grenade has said bar humbug. Yes, indeed. We wish you a Merry Christmas and bar humbug to you. Do you know the fun part? I am literally streaming right now in a white Santa beard and a black bar humbug Christmas hat. And I just sang that live on stream. So yeah. You've got to love this kind of thing sometimes. I'm sure they all think I'm a nut job now. Oh well. They seem to laugh about it, so oh well. That's what counts. Okay, let's see. We don't have any kind of targeting information. Ooh. Oh, they're over there.
acquired.
And yeah, as you can see, my missile's locked on really fast, so I can start firing it. But their problem is they're out of range.
New target
And
acquired.
that guy's behind cover. Oh, they're all over that side.
Has power.
Oh dear.
Enemy is in Echo 7 circling to Foxtrot 7.
Roger that. I think they're probably going to have an element moving into F6 as well. I'll see if I can get a bead on them. No, wait, they've all gone low, haven't they?
New
Ah!
target acquired.
I found them! Ah! Ow!
Right
Ow!
arm critical damage.
No.
Left
Ow.
arm critical damage.
No!
Right arm destroyed. Left arm
Ow.
destroyed.
The bad news is they just blew off my machine guns.
Warning,
So,
incoming missile.
yeah. Ah. Yeah, look at me. My arms are
Target
gone.
spotted.
Kodiak is Alpha.
Yeah, there's a mass. I've ran straight into the main enemy formation. Oh, that guy's got flamethrowers on him.
New target acquired.
Ow! It's that guy again. Blooming Rex!
Acquired.
Oh, it was you, sorry. Yeah, they blew off the machine guns.
New target acquired. New
They're
target
they're in cover, so I
acquired.
can't really aim at them.
Need assistance. Target spotted.
Oh, that's the Cyclops. Alright.
Warning, incoming missile.
Yeah, that's the point in time mech. Don't worry, I'll take it out again because that was a primary weapon system after all.
Actor red on me.
Yeah, that flame was...
Destroyed.
Yeah, that he was just trying to get stuck in there.
New target acquired.
Oh, that's why I'm taking so much... Ow. No wonder I'm taking so much damage. That Cyclops had rack 5s. It had 2 rack 5s on it. So, yeah. So you know what? Since I can't take this mech out again, like right this instant because it's still in a match, and you've just seen the racks, which is basically the big brother of the machine guns. Basically, it's Gatling cannons. Like Gatling style weaponry, but using autocannon scale shells. I'm going to take out my Mauler, which has got 3 rack 2s on it. So, yeah. That's why I took so much damage and I got destroyed so fast. Though I suspect... Hang on. No, I have got some armor on my arms. Yeah, it just literally tore through it. But yeah, I can't use this one until it finishes that match. So, I'm going to grab this one, which is my MX-90 Mauler. 90-ton assault mech. But look at the front of it, though. Look at its front. It's just like got massive cannon barrels all over the place. It's got 3 rack 2s there, which are rapid fire autocannons, like Gatling cannons, basically. And then in this side, it's got a ultra autocannon 20, which is basically a double shot 20 grade autocannon. So yeah, massive weapon systems, and lots of DACA actually. So I'll take this one out, then I'll take the Griffin out again. But yeah, there we go, the rack 2s. What that thing destroyed me with was the rack 5, which is the heavier version. But the thing is, rack 5s you can only use 2 of them at once. Rack 2s you can use 3 of them at once. So yeah. Honestly, you do more damage with 2 rack 5s than you do with 3 rack 2s. But the 3 rack 2s have got faster projectiles, and they so that makes them more consistent, and they also fire faster as well. So they're kind of if you miss your shots. Okay, yeah, let's take this thing out. Quick play with the current mech, yes. No engine? What? Did I strip out the engine to put on someone else? I bet I did, didn't I? Yeah, this thing's missing its engine. Where did I put that engine? This is why I don't hot swap engines. Because then if I want to use a mech, the engine's not there. And I've got to find it. There's the Light 300. I think it's that one actually, the Light 300. Strip out your engine. The problem is it's the only Light 300 I've got, so that's why I've been hot swapping it. But yeah, I think it's the Light 300 that's meant to be in this one. Light 300, check. 88, and then it has space for a couple of heat sinks, which I slot in there as well, just to try and keep the thing from overloading, because it fires its cannons so much it can actually overheat itself and blow itself up. So yeah, that's how many bullets this thing fires. It overloads just from the bullets that it's shooting at the enemy. And even with 2 heat sinks, that still won't be enough to keep it steady all the time. So yeah. Okay. If you melt an enemy mech who uses HMSs, then you'll have your DACA satisfied. HMSs, what do you mean? What's an HMS? I should probably point out, by the way, that I'm going to end this, not this match, but I'm going to end it after the next match, not this one. Uses heavy missile systems. You mean MRM 40s or LRM 20s and things like that? Because technically there's not a heavy missile system, so I don't really get what you're talking about. Heavy machine guns. If you melt an enemy who uses heavy machine guns, well, at any kind of range, I will melt someone who's using heavy machine guns, yes. Because my weaponry has much better range. However, if he gets close to me and my armor is compromised, the machine guns will tear me apart instead. Because once my armor's gone, then the machine guns start to do critical hits. So, yeah. They just start to tear things apart really, really fast. By the way, if you don't know, what a critical hit is in this game is, if you hit structure, as in the armor location is gone, you start doing damage to its structure. But if you roll a critical hit, then you also do direct damage to a module which is within that location. And each module in your mech has its own hit points. So if you get a critical hit with something that does 10 hit points worth of damage, and it hits a module that's got 10 hit points, that module just is immediately dead. So critical hits can blow out a weapon or systems like that well before the mech actually loses that section of itself, because you've just damaged it so much it literally falls off. A critical hit can wreck things before that. And some weapons get a bonus to doing critical hits. Machine guns are one of those weapons. So they're very weak shot per shot, but they do massive damage when they start getting through the armor. Because they just tear the internal components to shreds, basically. So yeah, that's how critical hits work in this particular game. They don't do extra damage. They just damage through things and tear your stuff apart. So yeah, here we go. It's a Battle Master. I think I want to join up with the rest of my force here, so... But yeah. I know you can't see really well, but there are the Gatling cannons. There. And there is the Ultra Autocannon 20. Just down there. So yeah, you can see them quite clearly through my cockpit. Also, I'm about to walk into some lava. Hello, lava. I get the feeling I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I think I want to go this way. Yeah, I'm walking on a lava flow. This can't be healthy. Oh well, let's just get caught up anyway. Oh, that battle... No, that's a Nova Cat. Where's the Battle Master gone? Oh, the Battle Master realised everyone's going this way, so he actually came around and he's coming up behind us. Oh, right, that's where he's gone. Yeah, now you get a good view of that cannon down there. Is lava a heat hazard? The entire map's a heat hazard. So that's why my heat is stuck passively at 8%. So my cooling is not as effective on this map because it's just naturally hot. There is, however, the ability to actually walk into some lava streams, which actually does heat, and it can massively damage the legs as well. So I've got to watch out for that. So yeah, walking in lava, not really a good idea. Now where's the enemy? There is an enemy over there. But yeah, what Skypian said earlier, that someone is getting melted, it might be literal in this case. Yeah, look, here's the lava flow right here. I walk into it and my heat is increasing. And my legs are slowly taking damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go scout out a bit more.
Everyone's just walking into each other. Oh, there's someone behind us.
Target acquired.
A javelin. Okay, their light mechs are behind us. E7. The massive force going that way, so yeah, I'll leave them be. I'll go and help with the main fight. But yeah, we can actually wade through lava in our giant walking war machines. Yeah, there's multiple mechs.
New target acquired.
Oh, they got a Timberwolf over there as well. That's a heavy.
The majority of their main followers is in Gulf 7 as well.
Everyone's pulling back, so that means that they're starting to push us from G6. This is not good. Too many of our forces like. That nearly tore my armor straight open immediately. Yeah, so they've got massive incoming. But yeah, I am right at the front though. This is not where I want to be. Because if I'm at the front, I'm going to get shot at, and my armor is already really bad. I'm a mauler, so I'm not very tough. Ow! Ah! Yeah, this is why it's a problem. Ow!
We're experiencing some losses. Don't get sloppy out there.
Ow. Yeah. As I said, Mauler is not a tough mech. I say this every time I put it in a video. It is not tough. It's not meant to take something like that. Though despite that, I actually did 200 points of damage because of how fast my weaponry was firing. So, yeah. Massive damage output from right there. Sorry that I didn't do a good showing there, because it's like, everything pulled back, I was left at the front. Yeah, do you want me to show you why I keep saying the Mauler is actually a bad mech? Well, it's not a bad mech, it's a squishy mech. So it's easily damaged. Do you want me to show you why? Because, oh, actually the match is already over. Ouch. We got pinched so hard. Everyone's dead. We've lost already. 2 kill assists. Oh my. Yeah, the only 2 enemies we killed are the enemies that I attacked. So I helped, sort of. Anyway, you already saw why. Okay. Tell me why. Why is the Mauler not a durable mech? That's what I meant. That's why. It's not like enemy walks up to you and shoots you in the face and it hurts, because that applies to everything. How often do you live to the end of a match? Me personally? Like 45% or 50%, I think it is, for me. Yeah, somewhere around 50-50. Though tipping over towards getting destroyed more often than not. Almost no armor. Incorrect. Incorrect. It's got 77 points of armor, forward facing. 110 in the middle. It doesn't maneuver well. Yes, that is also a good one. It is sluggish. It struggles to move around. But the main problem, though, is it's big, boxy. It's really flat. So it's a really big target. And you can see where you're shooting as well. Because if you aim at this triangle here, or the pelvis area, like this big bit here, you know you're hitting the center torso. If you hit this section here, you know you're hitting a side torso. So it's really easy to tell where you're trying to hit on this mech as well. And because it's so big and bulky, it just eats all the shots coming at it. So it's actually got decent armor. It's just really, really easy to hit it. So, you know. And then on top of that, it's got the maneuverability problem, as you said. Because it doesn't maneuver very quickly at all. It's got bad turning speed. Its torso doesn't twist very fast either. But it's actually intended as a long-range ballistic fire support mech. Rapid firing with light autocannons and homing missiles. So yeah. Yeah, literally have a shoot here symbol on the torso. Yeah, that kind of sums it up actually. But it gets worse, because you know the missile pod on the Griffin? The Mauler has them as well. I'll show you my LRM Mauler. So not only can you hit here to hit the side torsos, you can also hit up here as well. Because it's got rabbit ears. So, yeah. Mauler is not... It's not one that's meant to be absorbing hits. It just gets hit too hard, too fast. Anyway, I said we'd try the Griffin out for one more time before we stop, because my voice is really hurting now. Well, my throat is hurting. So let's see if we can get these heavy MGs into play. Here we go. Ow. Voice, ow, ow. But yeah, that's one of the problems with a lot of mechs. And one of the things you've got to be aware of for if you're looking at the difference between the designs. It's like, where are the hitboxes? Can your enemy tell exactly where to hit you to try and strike a certain place? Is it easy to do that? Is it hard to do that? If your mech's really big and bulky and easily distinct because you can tell where the different parts of it are, then yeah. Well, let's see if we don't die in 2 seconds. Skypian, we actually lived way more than 2 seconds last time. The problem is we ran into that double heavy autocannon Cyclops, which is actually an assault mech, by the way, and weighed nearly twice as much as we did. And we ran into a Hunchback, and a bunch of other mechs I didn't have time to see because I was too busy running away. But basically we ran into their entire enemy team pushing at us. And we were lucky to get away just losing our arms. And I was in the fight for like a couple of minutes after that still, with the lasers and the LRM system. Figuratively 2 seconds. Yeah. I'll try to keep the arm functional. The rest of the mech will be a pile of scrap metal. But that arm will be pristine. It will be perfect. It will have done nothing because I will have turned it away from the enemy all the time so that I didn't scratch the paintwork. And as a result, I wasn't able to fire it. Yeah, that's the only way to make sure you don't lose an arm. Just like turn away and don't use it. Yeah, 1 second per arm. Yeah. Actually, back to talking about maneuverability and stuff. That was a tactic called torso twisting, which is the idea that you're turning your torso so that the damage they're throwing at you hits the different parts of your mech as you turn your torso away. So they're not just pointing straight into your middle all the time, you're actually turning it so that they're forced to hit other parts where you've got more armor. Extending from that, the arms can also be used as ablative shielding. So if you turn far enough, the enemy has to hit your arm before they can hit your torso. So that way the arm eats shots that would have gone into your torso otherwise. So yeah. There's the heavy MGs there, by the way, right there. I didn't hear what they said. But yeah, that's torso twisting in a nutshell. Different mechs do it better or worse because... Oh look, there's an Enforcer actually. Oh no, that's a Wolfhound, never mind. I thought it was Enforcer for a moment there. But yeah. That's why some players...
They come up around the back and shoot the shit out of them. Yeehaw!
Get along, cowboy. Show us how it's done. No response to that. Okay. Get along, little doggy, and all that.
Learning the hard way today how nasty bushwhackers are.
Light mech and Echo.
Light Echo. Okay, let's see if we can catch up with that. We're actually relatively fast because we're a medium, so we can reposition more easily. And that's good because we've got the heavy MGs that we want to bring into play. Let's actually check this. Do we have...
Target spotted.
Yes, we do. We have full arm articulation, actually. So... Look at me. There's the heavy MGs. Yes, right there.
Target spotted.
It's just like, yeah, look, look, more heavy MGs. Right there out the window. And then, of course, the other side doesn't have that, so it's like... Yay, heavy MGs! I can literally inspect them. And as you can see, this mech actually has a hand as well. Anyway, enough messing around with that. Come on, let's go.
Mini-map, keep moving, do not stop. Stay with the group.
But yeah, you can. But that's one of the cool things about this game sometimes, because you're literally like in the cockpit of your mech. So that's why you can do things like you can see the stuff on your arm. Oh jeez, yep, it's kicking off over there, isn't it? Where's my meds? They're on the left, right. Ugh. Okay, he's got rapid fire weaponry.
Warning, incoming missile.
Incoming missiles doesn't matter, I'm behind a mountain.
Warning, incoming missile.
Where are those coming from? Don't really know. We've got... Okay, let's stick with my main assault force, I guess. They're starting to push out this way to try and engage. I want to stick with the heavier equipment if possible, so...
Target acquired.
Oh yeah, I've got an LOM-10, haven't I? But there's no targets to shoot at.
New target acquired.
Oh, there's a Cyclops over there. Double LM-15 and treble large pulse.
New target
Right,
acquired.
Nightgayer. Oh, hello, Jenna.
New target.
Oh, that was an artillery strike. Oh dear.
New target acquired.
However, I should point out that artillery strike did a lot of damage to our arms. The arms have already lost their armor coating, so yeah. Gotta be a bit more careful with this. There's an enforcer. Yeah, recognise the legs. That is an enforcer. But yeah, the arms just like got really hammered by the artillery strike. But we're moving on to this Jenna.
Target destroyed.
No, well, you just saw me using them against that Jenna. So, yep, you don't need to rage quit.
Target
Also, the
acquired.
enemies are really exposed over there.
New target acquired.
How the hell did you guys say in Echo 7 you're supposed to stay with the main fucking group?
Sorry, could you repeat that, please? I didn't hear it.
New target
I
acquired.
think he was complaining about the fact that Echo 7 got overran. Oh, there's an Annihilator over there with an open rear section.
Experiencing some losses. Don't get sloppy out there.
Because you guys don't listen and end up losing too much that you didn't use or lose. Stay with the group. Yeah, so it says for some dead guys.
Target destroyed. Warning, incoming missile.
Oh, jeez, incoming. Whoa! Ow.
Warning, incoming missile.
Oh, wait, right side is where my machine guns are. I don't want to block with that side.
Turn around, big guy. Copy.
25% of the enemies are eliminated.
I think I was just taking some friendly damage right there. Okay, we've got a couple of our scout lancers getting hammered.
No, now they're gonna die too.
Ow!
Cheers, you're a cheery Blake, yeah.
I think that was out of range. Okay. Right.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
We lost half our force. We can't lose any more soldiers.
New target acquired.
Dear. Yeah, I think we've kind of lost.
Right arm critical damage. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Well, knock him apart. Gotta do it.
Target destroyed.
Got him! Oh, no, wait, no, someone else got him. Ugh. Right.
Right arm critical
Ow.
damage. Target acquired. Machine gun ammo at 25%.
Okay, I tore out his side torso.
Center torso critical damage.
Right,
New target acquired. Machine gun ammo depleted.
We're taking critical losses. We need you to pull
Destroyed.
through.
Right arm destroyed. Machine gun destroyed.
yeah, you're not getting away. Nope. No, no, you don't. Fucking marauder. Come on. Unfortunately, I can't use LOMs this point. Oh, dear. Well, he turned around, so I got hit. He was turning around chasing the Shadow Cat. But I was able to actually do a lot of damage to him, so yeah. The problem is, though, that the heavy MGs actually ran out of ammo. If I'd had more ammo fitted, I could have actually killed him. But I just shot through what I had too quickly. Unfortunately.
Warning.
Yeah, look how badly damaged that Marauder is. He's almost dead.
Left leg
Come in. Control the surface. Can anyone
Yeah,
read?
I would have gotten another kill if I'd been able to, my machine guns hadn't run out of ammo. And that's another aspect of testing in this game because, oh, we lost, but I did enough to maintain equal skill rating. So yeah. But yeah, take out some LRM ammo because the LRMs, they weren't getting used that much. And put in some more heavy machine gun ammo to keep the machine guns firing longer. And so an ammo balance tweak would be good. The ER meds were absolutely fine. They were actually doing a lot of the work. And they were the only real heat source on the mech, so we can keep that going quite nicely. So yeah. Yeah, I think this is definitely a viable mech configuration. But yeah, missiles, when they're flying at another mech, you can walk into them or get in the way. Also, by the way, I took a lot of friendly damage as well. I kept getting hit in the back by my allies. So that was something else that was going on. But yeah, the tweaks I would make is take out some LRM ammunition. I think like we had a ton and a bit. No, we had about less than a ton left. So take out 1 ton of ammo for that. Put in another ton of HMG ammo, like that. Take out the Beagle probe actually, and put in more ammo in that space. because we've double stacked the bonuses, we don't actually need them. So 1.5 tons extra HMG ammo there. So yeah, we've dropped a ton of LRM ammo and the Beagle active probe, and instead we've gone with an extra 2.5 tons of heavy machine gun ammo. So yeah, actually take out the half ton and max out the armor on that arm. Well, as close as we can. Let's take a bit of armor off the other side actually, because we don't need that. Because the other arm has nothing in it, so might as well. So yeah, we've got an LRM-10 with 2 tons of ammo. We've got quad machine guns with 5 tons of ammo. And we've got the dual ER meds. And we've got the targeting computer. Just improving our stuff in general. But yeah, that's what I'd do to that. And the other thing I was mentioning is maybe replace the LRM with a... why not bounce them? Because I can't, Raz. Because remember what I said about weapon hardpoints? This particular Griffin has 4 ballistic hardpoints in that arm, but it doesn't have any hardpoints in this arm, so this arm can't actually mount any weapons. There's missile slots in this torso, that's why the missiles are there, and there's energy slots in this torso, which is why the lasers are there. So let's save this, and I'll show you, because now you know what this particular mech can take. It's got 2 energy hardpoints left torso, 2 missiles right torso, 4 ballistics right arm. That's another difference with the Enforcer, since you asked earlier what the differences was. I was looking at this Enforcer here, and this one has 2 ballistics in each arm and 1 energy hardpoint in the left torso. Kind of crippled. Effectively, but the thing is you can use the space for other things, like you can put heat sinks into it, or ammunition, or the targeting computer could go in there. Or you can use the space for the slots you've got to use when you equip extra structure. Like if you upgrade your structure or your armor to a lighter type, then they don't take a particular slot, they take a number of slots. So if I did that, then the slots could be like all the ones in this Griffin's arm. So this, I can only put 4 more slots of stuff into this Griffin. But they can be anywhere, and then the rest of the slots are used for my Endo Steel chassis upgrade, which is reducing my weight to let me fit more stuff. So that side there is being used for structure slots. So it's still being used. It's just not being used for equipment. But if I, by the way, there's not going to be any more matches, as I said. But if I go into the store and look at the Griffins, the medium mech, the Griffins, here we go. Right. Which one is it I've got? It was the one with 4 ballistics, which is a version of... Oh, that's actually a unique loyalty version. If you didn't get the loyalty version, you don't actually get a Griffin with 4 machine gun slots in the arm. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, these different Griffins here, they've got different configurations, so they can mount different amounts of things. Like this one, the 3M, if I go into here, it's got, it's not got any, oh, wait, hang on. I clicked on the wrong button. This one. View in Mech Lab, yes. And strip this one out. This one can take an energy weapon in that arm instead of the ballistics, and it can take an energy weapon in the left torso, but it can take 4 missile slots, 4 missile weapons in the right torso. So it can mount a lot more missile weaponry at the cost of not being able to mount anything like as much of the other types. So where are they? They've put an MRM in there, MRM in there, MRM there. That's taken over that lower slot there. And then The fourth one gets put into a handbag, basically, because it gets strapped onto the side of the mech. So, yeah, you can put 4 missile systems into this particular version of the Griffin. So you can turn that entire side torso, basically, into one massive missile launcher. If you were so inclined. That's a lot of missiles. And then we've got this one, which has got 3 engine weapons in that arm. Actually, it seems to be a general thing with the Griffin, from what I'm seeing, that the left arm doesn't actually have much in it. But yeah, if I wanted to, I could grab this, and then I could put like no, not regular ones. I need a smaller slot size, light PPCs, and then I could put like a treble PPC in the arm of this one. So, like, look at that. Like, it's got these 3 PPC barrels on it. So, treble PPC right there. In that one's arm. Are subsystems explosive? Yes, some of them are. Normally they aren't. If they get destroyed, you just lose use of it. An ammo store goes boom. So it causes a lot of internal damage if it goes off. Like that. And then it applies the self-destruct damage to the section it's in. So if it blows up in the arm, it tries to break the arm off. If it blows up in the side torso, it tries to break up that side torso. The problem is, an ammo explosion like that, it travels from section to section. So if it was in the arm and the arm was completely destroyed, what was left of the explosion would go to the torso. Here. But if you lose the torso, and that gets destroyed, the ammo explosion goes to the middle torso, which is where your fusion reactor is. So, yeah. You don't want to do that. Which brings me to a piece of equipment here, which is the CASE, the case, or the Cellular Ammunition Storage System. That takes half a ton and 1 slot to install for an IS mech. I believe the clan one is half a ton and half a slot. Sorry, well, the clan version is better. 1 slot, but is it weightless? I don't remember. I think it just doesn't cost any weight. It just costs a slot. But what that does is, the ammo explosion damages the section it's in, but if it breaks that section, the case vents the explosion out the back of the mech. So it prevents damage from spreading to other areas if the ammo is exploded. There is, of course, one exception to the rule, which is Gauss weaponry. Gauss rifle ammunition is solid, so it doesn't explode. However, the Gauss rifle itself has high energy capacity, so the Gauss rifle, if that gets taken out, does explode. So, yeah. It swaps it around, because normally the ammo explodes, but the weapon system does not. But the Gauss rifle, the weapon explodes, but the ammo does not. So, you know. Because logic. And stuff like that. But yeah, was there anything else there you wanted to take a quick look at? How much is a DDC? I know I'm way short of buying one. A DDC is, yeah, 10.5 million. Can you case a Gauss weapon? No. Because case only works for ammo explosions. If a Gauss rifle explodes, it's not actually an ammo explosion. So I don't think it does. Unless it's just an auto vent, in which case it would, but... You know, I'm not actually sure of that one. Logically, by the names, I would say it does not, but there's still the fact that it's an internal explosion. So it's a question of, does the game code treat the 2 explosions differently or the same way? If it treats it the same way, it'll vent out the back and protect. If it doesn't treat them the same, then I'm gonna look this up actually. Yeah, people have been asking this. Oh, okay, right. Got it. Yeah, case does actually work with a Gauss rifle explosion. So yeah, you can mount a case system to prevent explosions spreading if your Gauss rifle gets destroyed. So yeah, there you go. Case does work on it. Anything else? Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to see? I mean, I was kind of curious about that one after we started talking about it, so that's why I went and looked it up. I wanted to be sure. Let's get Raz's configuration back up. Actually, let's take this one. And I'll rename this one the Skypian. Skypian Griff. And let's get that, might as well, let's get that King Crab. It's a quad 0 version. So yeah, was there anything else anyone wanted to ask about, or shall we wrap this up? The Raz King. Yes, the Raz King. The Raz King. Okay, right. Now, we were talking about this. I was saying downgrade the missile system. But at least keep something there for long-range stuff. Let's drop it to an LOM-10. And drop a ton of ammo as well. Then you wanted to replace the cannons. The lasers were okay. But the cannons were not. Like, how about racks, actually? That leaves 10 tons spare. Well, we can beef up the lasers then, actually. A pair of Rack 2s? Oh, we don't have a pair of Rack 2s available, do we? No, we don't. Rack 5s then. Any kind of chance I can fit an AMS? Unfortunately, this... Wait, no. It's in the center torso. This one does have access to an AMS hardpoint. Almost missed that, actually. Let's shift the stuff around. You wanted a laser AMS, if I recall. So... There we go, enough space to mount one of those in the center torso, right there. We still need ammo for the racks. Like 3 tons? 3.5 tons. We can actually upgrade the armor to light ferro, with there's enough slots left over for that. Which gives an extra ton of space. We really want to get another heatsink in there though, because we've got actually though the large pulse is not too bad. Might as well put more rack ammo in it. And we've got half a ton, so actually a case doesn't matter in this one. Because even if we've got the case, if this mech loses that side torso, it dies because it's got an XL engine installed in it. So yeah. Yeah, as I said, case won't matter. Because if the ammo explodes, it'll destroy everything in this section. The case will stop the damage from jumping to other areas. But, because I've got an XL engine, if I lose that piece there of it, I'll die immediately. So, if I lose either of these side torsos, this mech will die with a light engine. Case would be worth it if I had a light engine instead. But I don't have any light... Well, I've got a light 300 around somewhere. But a light engine is not as light as an extra light engine, so I'd need to take something else off to make up the weight difference. Let's see, a light 300 is 20.5 tons. An XL version is 15.5 tons, so I'd need to take 5 tons more of weight off this machine before I could swap out that XL engine with a light 300 engine. And we're once again back in the whole playing with the mech lab being half the game because you're trying to customize your mech. There's my light 300. So let's actually look at that. Because if I strip out the light 300 engine that I've got there, just save that. Then we can go back to the Raz Crab, this one. And we can put in the light engine instead. Or we could if we had the weights to spare for it, which is the problem. So if I take that out, and the laser, now I can place the XL with a light, which has taken that 5 tons, but now, if I lose that side torso, it will not kill me, it will just reduce my heat management by quite a bit. So yeah, that's what happens with a light version versus an XL, but the problem is that 5 tons of extra weight. Standard, and then I equip it with endo steel structure instead. So I've managed to claw back a few tons by taking off my advanced armor composite and putting in an endo steel skeleton instead. Because you get more weight saving, but it's the advanced armor is like half the bulk, but it's half the bulk, but you don't get as much weight saving as the full-fledged ferrofibrous armor refit. So, yeah. However, I took off my rack ammo for that, so I need more rack ammo. And unfortunately, that's now used up all of my slots, because that's the other balancing factor, the slot usage. I'll take off the heatsink. That'll reduce my cooling. My cooling is kind of bad, but I can now add in that case you were talking about and some more ammo. Okay, that's used up all my slots again. I've got 1 ton spare and nowhere to spend it, actually. Yeah, I've got nowhere to spend that remaining ton of space because this mech already has maximum armor. So I can't even cram any more armor onto it because this is as heavy as it'll go. Oh wait, I never took off the AC-20 ammo. What am I doing? Whoops. I have excess ammo installed. I can't believe I forgot that actually. I'm going to install it in the legs, so I don't actually need the case, so take that out. So I've got 4 tons of rack ammo in the legs, which is good. And then I can fit... Can I fit another large pulse? No. What about regular large laser? What's this? That's 2 tons less. Actually, if I can fit the regular pulse, I can actually do what you mentioned earlier, which is have a sniper weapon in the form of the ER large laser. But the thing is, that works just as well as the regular one, at all ranges, except that it generates more heat. So that's the difference between an ER large and large. It just uses more heat and it's more expensive. So. Oh my, that's pretty close actually. Raz, how do you feel about this becoming half sniper? Because if I strip out some armor, you said you wanted the Beagle Active Probe. I would prefer to strip that out, but if I drop that and a little bit off the arms, then I can fit 4 ER large lasers in the side torso. However, that said, if I fire 4 of these at once, it generates more heat because there's too many. So that one would be like a chain fire configuration. We couldn't fire all 4 unless we were prepared for the heat, which we are not because this mech is not built for heat management. Actually, the laser will be working no matter what. We can turn it off though, if we need to. Honestly though, I prefer treble ER rather than quad, and then I'd prefer to have an extra heatsink in here. But then that gives us the weight problem again, because basically our equipment is not heavy enough. 246. If I could find another ton, we could actually replace those ER large lasers with a medium range large pulse lasers which do more damage. Oh yeah, that's right, we also took a ton of LOM ammo off as well, didn't we? I really, really want to get rid of the Beagle probe, but you said you wanted that, so... Yeah, but to swap out the ER large lasers to large pulse lasers, I need 6 tons, because it's 2 tons more per weapon. I'm thinking actually swap out, if we're going for mid to long range, then we should take the Rack 5s and replace them with Rack 2s, because the Rack 2s are 2 tons lighter each, and they're smaller as well. They're like half the size. So we could free up some space that way. The only problem is that our Gatlings would be like half as effectively. Well, half the DPS rather. On the 2 racks. Because right now we're operating at the envelope of what this mech can take. Just trying to find space to fit things in. What would happen if I took off the end of steel actually? Took out the end of steel and put in light ferro instead. That puts us exactly on the limit. Now, better if we just use endo steel still. But that's giving us slot problems. So if I downgrade the racks, then we've got like... Yeah, then we've got 8 tons to play with. And we've got 6 slots available as well. So we can take 6 tons to upgrade the energy weaponry, well, side grade rather. They'll have shorter range, but they do more damage, and they fire more quickly. So, yeah. To do that, still got those 6 slots, which we can then use for some more heat sinks to allow the mech to cool more effectively, and try to keep it from just overloading and overheating itself. Then, because we've also got Rack 2s, we will reinstall 3 tons of Rack 2 ammo, rather than the 4 tons we had of Rack 5, because it's like double the shots in those. So we've still got more ammo. And we've put in an extra ton of LRM ammunition as well, so we've now got 2 tons of ammo for that LRM system. So yeah, that looks pretty darn balanced actually. The autocannons are kind of light, but they are very fast firing and they've got long range on them. At long range for indirect fire, we've got an LRM-10 with Artemis tracking, so if we can see our target, the missiles cluster more tightly and are more effective. And that's got 2 tons of ammo. And then for close to mid-range brawling, we've got 3 large pulse lasers, which does pinpoint damage out to an optimum of 365 meters, but they can go up to 730, so it's mid-range, a bit long range actually. And every time they fire, it's a burst of 30 points of damage straight. So 30 points. If I was engaging another crab of my own configuration and I was hitting the side torso, 3 shots would tear the armor straight out of that. Such is the power of the large pulse. It's very, very hard hitting. So yeah. What do you think of that one, Raz? As the Raz crab fit? Because I think I might need to do a video on this one, since I want to end the stream. So you know, oh, my ears are hurting now. Yeah, this is another reason for limiting stream time and recording time. Because my head is big, my headset is a bit tight, so it squashes my ears, and it gets painful after a while. So, oh, it's my own fault for having such a big head, really. Sounds quite nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it, and it definitely seems to be a flexible build, I think. So yeah, I am thinking that I should actually use it as a build for a video. And take it out and put it through its paces on recording. Because yeah, I think I like it. Though it might have been better on one of the other chassis actually with a different weapon configuration. But, well, with the same weapon configuration but one of the other chassis, because the other 2 King Crag types have more ballistics but they have less energy and missile, so the one with 3 energy in the arm might have been a better choice for it. Where is it? That's the 622. That's the 433. So yeah, maybe this one would have been a better choice. It's currently got some other stuff on it, but it's got more ballistic slots in the arms. So that's why that might have been like a different option. Same config, but on an Atlas plus ECM. There's only one Atlas which has an ECM, and that's the DDC. All the other Atlases don't have that. On this one, we could probably replace the Rack 2s, which are 8 tons, with multiple lighter autocannons, I think, if we could find the weight for them. So yeah, there might be some more options there. As for the Atlas, could the DDC mount such a configuration? I'm not sure, because that's the only one with the ECM. 2, 2, 3. It could not. It could mount the racks. It could mount the missile. It couldn't mount enough lasers though. It can only carry 2 lasers. Also, that's what I said about the arrangement as well. Because in this one, the autocannons would be together. The missile would be over here somewhere, but the lasers would be separated on the arms. While the King Crab that we've just been messing around with, the lasers are all together, but the ballistic cannons are spread out. So the lasers are all together up there, but the ballistics are in each arm. So yeah, it'll be reduced. It'll be you wouldn't have as much laser striking power, but you would have more cannon striking power, because you've got to remember that taking out one of those lasers would free up 7 tons, which would be enough to upgrade back to the a pair of Rack 5s. So yeah, it'd be slower, but it would have more kick for its cannons, and it would be tougher. Unfortunately though, as I said, DDC is worth 10.5 million in-game currency, and I've only got 47,000 now. So yeah, that one might be a while off. But yeah, I think that's enough messing around in the mech bay. My voice is seriously going, so I'm going to end it there. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I'll catch you all some other time, some other place. And above all, remember, children, we wish you a Merry Christmas, but bar humbug to you. See you all later.